Hi, poof, ow. I'm Beck Lane, and this is Studio 120. Behind me is a painting of Alice Neal. I know you can't see her head. I started this a couple days ago. This is part of a two-panel piece with Alice Neal and me being on the second canvas or second panel. I spent last night really looking at the reference material and feeling it. And I realized that I had her too squatty. She was squatty potty. So I spent a good hour or so last night kind of feeling the reference material, looking at it, but feeling it. And I've made her more proportional. She's taller than I originally had it, which stretches her age, not only her body, but her age from like maybe a 9-year-old was what I had to probably about a 12-year-old, which is what, I don't know what date the reference material is from. I should find it. But I realized I had her all squatty potty. So I had to go in and fix her like you do every painting. I realized I'm wearing the same shirt I wore in yesterday's video. It's one of my pajama shirts. I did shower in between. You're welcome. But I'm still in my jammies for today. I realized I was going to shower and everything, but I looked at my YouTube channel and I realized this is my 500th video. 500 of these I've made, or something like that. That's how they're numbered, so we're just going to go with it. 500 videos, and I've been doing this for 8 years. And I remember when I started it, number one, I had no idea how to make a video. I had no clue. I knew I could talk, sort of, sometimes coherently. So I got a used camera and I figured it out. I had to figure out how to load it to YouTube, then I had to figure out how to load it to other sites, but I figured it out. And there we are. It was finding subjects and things that might matter to people ever since, might strike a chord. But today I've been thinking about, or actually for the past few days, I've been thinking, what does it mean to be an artist? Because throughout these videos, over the last 8 years that I've been doing this, I've met a lot of people. I've mentored a lot of people. People have written with questions. I've done interviews. I've talked to classes. My videos have been shown. This always flips me out. My videos have been shown literally around the world, in middle school, high school, and college and universities. I mean, obviously I'm not Kim Kardashian level or any of the Kardashian level. I'm not, a TikTok star because I'm not tap dancing and wearing glitter, or a YouTube star because I'm not wearing, tap dancing and wearing glitter, or showing you my cat every 5 minutes and doing a dance with him. I don't do ridiculous, wasteful things like that. I try and talk about painting and what it means to be an artist. So we don't have a lot of viewers, but we have a very dedicated core, and it's been really cool to hear from people literally all over. It blows my mind. Literally all over the world, all over Europe, all over South America, of course, across the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, just everywhere. It blows my mind sometimes. I get in my little hidey hole mode and I don't think about that. I'm just like, I better talk because otherwise I'm going to curl up in a ball and someone will find me smelly and with flies on me in another 2 months and wonder what happened. So I come on and make videos so we avoid that little issue. And that's, a lot of it's been therapy in that way. But it's really cool that that we have found a way to connect, that we have this available to us and we have a way to connect. I'm so grateful we live in this time. So grateful as an artist we live in this time so that we can do things like this and connect to one another. And when we're having trouble, we can write back and forth. We can, discuss maybe what the issue is. and try and find a way out. And I can help you the best I can, and if I can't help you, maybe I have someone in the little posse who can. Most of my friends are very generous and kind, so we just do our best to help one another. But yeah, thinking about what it means to be an artist, especially after the last 8 years where everything I've gone, I thought I was headed to the zenith. I'm in New York. I'm on Madison Avenue. I've made it, and now all I have to worry about is producing product. Kitty, you can't use that door right now. Producing product. And by producing, yes, I know, or producing artwork. And I will be able to expand my ideas and really experience the materials that I'm working with. And of course that went horribly wrong. But we didn't give up. I did almost end up in a 5-month hidey hole with flies and, you know, the neighbors smelling a body, but I'm kidding. I'm really kidding. But it didn't happen. So here we are years later, still having the discussion. Is it 8 years or 9 years? No, 8 years. 8 years in February. We're still having these discussions. What does it mean to be an artist? What does it mean? I can only talk from a painter's perspective or an illustrator's perspective. And I hate it when people say, what does it mean to be an artist? Well, it means digging deep and blah, blah, blah. But it's kind of true. I think, first of all, you have to be willing to do the hard work. All of it. You have to be willing to do the very difficult work of digging through what you know, what you think you know, and what makes you comfortable. If you're going to be a real artist, if you're, not just going to illustrate other, if you're not just going to make pretty pictures, as one of my professors, Robert Cormier, said to me, we're not here to make pretty pictures. You do have to dig deep. You do have to do work. Sometimes that means therapy. Sometimes that means stripping away everything that makes you comfortable. Throwing away everything that you know that has kept you on a hamster wheel of, I'm just going to keep producing this work because it feels good to be in this little hamster wheel, but I want to be over there. Well, you got to get off the effing hamster wheel, dude. I've had that conversation 8,000 times. I only want to do this one thing, but I want greatness and I want to be over there. Okay, get off the hamster wheel. Stop playing on the hamster wheel. But it's safe over here. You got to get off the hamster wheel. I did the same thing. I stripped myself of everything. I was single and I could leave. So I left. I left my hometown. I left everything I knew. And I started this big, long adventure of becoming an artist. And not everybody can do that. Not everybody has the ability to get up and go. But that's what got me started. It's just stripping away everything I knew. And as I've told everybody over the last 8 years, the first thing I did, I left Cape Cod, moved to New Bedford. And I had bounced around an awful lot in New Bedford trying to find a semi-permanent place. And once I got, an apartment where I knew I wasn't going to be leaving in the next 5 minutes because of whatever, because the construction had been shut down on my studio space again, I got an apartment. I went to Michael's. I picked up a gigantic roll of canvas, laid it out. We all know the story. I've said it 1,000 times. Laid it out on the floor, 6 feet by 9 feet, took my paints and got to work. I had no idea what I was going to do. I just started doing it. And so the first painting in my new life is a painting called Drowning Lily. And I was listening to a Stephen King novel at the time, an audiobook. I had all my dictionaries, or not all, but I had a bunch of dictionaries around me. and I found the local library and started pulling out. I would just walk down the shelves and just grab a book. And I found all these awesome old books that I used to help not inspire me, because I think that's egregious and gross, but just kind of clear out the cobwebs and to help me strip away all the stuff that I knew or that I thought would sell. Like painting lighthouses, which is now a pet peeve of mine. But painting lighthouses, everything that's Cape Cod-y and like a picture postcard. I had to strip that away. And after Drowning Lily, I did several more paintings, but the next one that I think is significant for me, for great me, is Un Simple Soldat. Un, Simple Soldat, Soldat. It was painted on masonite, something I'd never used before. I'd never painted on unstretched canvas, and especially not 6 feet by 9 feet. And then I decided to paint on masonite, which I don't really recommend, but I tried it anyway. It was stripping away everything I knew, getting new materials with every penny that I had, and just doing the work. A lot of times people write me and they want to know the point A to point B. Well, how do I go from my hamster wheel to where you are, where you are and where you're painting freely, let's say? There is no point A, point B, and I can't tell you that. I can't tell you how you are going to go from point A to point B. That's your adventure. That's your path. But first, it's going to take you stripping away everything you think you know, everything you think that makes you feel comfy on that hamster wheel. I'm being blunt. I'm being perfectly blunt. I'm in a little bit of a mood today. I'm a little irate over something. So, I can't tell you. Do this and you will get here. Do this and you will get here. Because there's a lot of this in between. And what gets you to here is going through this great maze of frustration and anger and whatever obstacle is in your way. Climbing over it, climbing under it, working with it, working around it. Whatever obstacles get in your way that will take you over to this side. When we think about artists, we're storytellers. That's it. We tell stories. I'm a visual artist. I'm very lofty. I'm a visual artist. But when we think about the paintings or illustrations that I do, or that maybe you do, we're storytellers. Well, think about other storytellers that you know of. Mark Twain, John Irving, Gwendolyn Brooks. There's millions and millions and millions of storytellers that tell us stories through words. Stephen King, etc. Someone I listened to way back when. None of their roads were easy. Mark Twain went through years of having no money, traveling the country, really putting himself in desperate situations, failing in absolutely everything he did, failing over and over and over and over again. But he had left his little hometown of Hannibal, I think it was Hannibal, Missouri, and just said, I'm going to go do this thing. And he set out. At one point, he was a drunk. He lost a writing job because of it. But his life's path, put him through the ringer so he could become the writer who influenced America. If he hadn't had those experiences, the great ones, where he was seeing new things and meeting new people and, learning how to dig within and within himself and outside of himself and learning to mature, emotionally mature, we never would have had Huckleberry Finn. White America never would have understood, we never would have had a peek, a tiny, tiny peek at what it means to be a slave or a runaway slave. But first he had to stop, he started, what did he do? He did a letter set. He helped put the letters together for typesetting newspapers, for printing newspapers. He did a lot of different things. He wrote for publications, but it was a step on 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 a step, and taking the lessons at each step and applying them. Alice Neal, same thing. As someone said to me once, you got to walk through the fires of hell first before you see heaven, which whatever, but you got to walk through the fires of hell first before you reach heaven. I'm not in heaven. I'm not where I want to be. But I get frustrated and angry, and I tell you, and I stamp my feet, but every single step is leading me to something hopefully bigger and more meaningful in the work. Like Mark Twain, like Gwendolyn Brooks. Oh my God, the great Gwendolyn Brooks. Oh, I love her. Toulouse-Lautrec. We think of these people as being, they stepped out of their house one day and just became famous. That's not how it works. If it did, I wouldn't be sitting here trying to squeeze the last little glob of paint out of a tube. I wouldn't be, and I'm being blunt again, I wouldn't be trying to figure out how to make an orange. One orange, half a cucumber, and half a chicken breast last for the next 3 days. If I could walk out of my house and just decide, I'm famous now, I would have done that years ago. That's not how it works. I wouldn't be struggling. I wouldn't be sitting with a $10 bill on my counter because that's the only money I have left in the world. I'm being totally and completely frank. There is no point A, point B. There is no one that can tell you how to get from where you are now to who you're going to be. That's up to you. That's your business. That's your job as an artist. That's your job. That's your commitment to yourself. That's a commitment to the art that you will produce. People can give you technique, they can give you ideas, but they cannot live your life for you. They cannot go through the rigors of you becoming you for you. All those experiences, great and horrible, and including like just being flat out friggin' hungry. No, I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm just being clear here. The terrors of almost being homeless. I've lived through that. No one can do that for you. It is life giving you experiences so that you can become the person, the artist, you are meant to be. As horrible and as begrudging as it is to have to dig in and do that work, that is life, and that is being an artist, because you will be able to take all that and apply it to your work. Okay, let's end there, shall we? I think I did an okie dokie job, and it's been a really long time. It's been 20 minutes. So I am going to shower. Look, here's something really cool. I'm changing the subject. Yesterday, I just got on a tear. Because the entire month of March, I was suffering, not suffering, I was just living in a very, 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 very deep depression, loaded with anxiety, and could barely function. And so the backyard and the front yard got really crappy and awful, and I felt bad because I respect and I appreciate my neighbors. They're always willing to help. They're always willing to do stuff, but I never ask anyone to do the heavy lifting for me. I don't feel like it. Can you do this? But over the past couple days, I've cleaned up the front yard. Yesterday, I clipped a bunch of trees for about an hour. It took me about 6 hours to recover. But for an hour and a half, I guess, I was clipping stuff and trying to rake. My RSD got really, really bad, though. But one of my neighbors came over and just didn't even ask. Just started wrapping up the debris and dragging it out to the front. Didn't even ask, because that's the type of neighborhood I live in. We're all really good to each other. We try to be respectful of one another, and that everyone around me knows it's important to me that my yard is clean, not just as a reflection of me, but a reflection of the neighborhood, and to show respect to everyone around me. However, and this ties into what I was saying, no one's going to come over and do it for me. But because even though this makes me horribly sick and it exhausts me, it saps every ounce of energy I have, my neighbors will come over and they don't even bother asking, do you need any help? We all just pitch in. What can I do? Because I'm doing my heavy lifting. I'm doing my job. I'm digging in. Other people are more willing to help. I got another neighbor that's coming over either tonight or tomorrow night, sometime this week, and we're gonna burn some debris and just hang out. It's pretty cool. But he saw me working, and it turned out he had been through a major depression last month too, for very good reasons. And he felt bad that his yard didn't look good. And I'm like, Brian, I feel horrible. I've got debris everywhere from these storms, and I just haven't cleaned it up. He's like, I didn't even notice. But we both feel the same way. It is our responsibility to do the hard work in our own house. And we don't expect each other to do it for us. Anyway, okay, let's leave it on that. And I meant to put the coffee in the Don't Dream It, Be It cup. I didn't. It's in my Utrecht cup. One I got from friends at the Utrecht store, what used to be Dick Blick, I think, or was it Utrecht? It was Utrecht in Providence, Rhode Island. I had a set of 4. This is the last one left. I got it from my friend Carrie. So we're drinking out of this today. Yeah, don't dream it, be it. All right, we're going to go now. Ready? Ciao, and hi, Max. Sorry, Grammy was yappity again. But ready? Carrie, I miss our chats. Hopefully we can get back at it. Stacy, I hope you're well. I know that you've been through so much. If there's anything I can do to help you get back on track. All right? Punky, I love you. Meow, 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 meow. Mike, Eric. God, there's so many people. But I just want to thank everybody for hanging in there with me. And I hope over the last 8 years, 500 videos, maybe once in a while I say something that helps you out. Okay, ready? Ciao. 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 Meow, meow. Oh, where's the button? Carrie. Whoop, 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 whoop. Boink.